Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you tuned into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and I'm here today with my brother in Christ and partner. I ain't gonna say crime, Tony, so they think that we're doing something wrong. But listen, we're here, brother, trying to do the same thing we've been doing ever since we started the show, trying to make sense out of a central situation called the plight of veterans in the USA and the USA with the plight of veterans. Now, recently, I have had some concerns about the USA because of the new administration in D.C. I thought when I raised my hand and took the oath of office for service in the U.S. military, I was serving for a democracy or a republic. You know, one that was for the people, by the people, and of the people. But Tony, let me say this, brother. I have been concerned because I'm watching the VA, first of all, man, mass firing. Now, mass firing at the VA is like really a slap in the face of veterans because the VA, you know, that already is underserving veterans because of the staffing problem. They need people working there. And now he turned around and fired 2,400 people from the VA. Then he goes by just throughout the federal government, just running rampant, man. Like me and you both worked for the government after the military service, right?
Yes.
Yep. I've had some assurances that I wouldn't be just fired unless I did something wrong.
Exactly.
I mean, so I'm trying to figure out how can you be in office less than 25 days and find out that all of these people was doing something wrong. Unless we try to move away from the democracy to an autocracy. Yeah. So, what you think, Tony? I'm just asking you because I'm concerned. And you know, as you saw last week, Tony and a lot of the other leaders in our community is concerned about the democracy.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's not just us; it's the community. You know, it's the community that's concerned. We're trying to figure out what it is our present president is trying to do to our country. The scary part about it is not just him. He has a civilian. This man has never served our country, now making major decisions about how our country is being run. He's making major decisions about the employees that the country has that runs our government. Yeah. And it's scary. It's scary.
It's worse. I think it's scary enough for us to consider it an attack on democracy. I mean, not just trying to reform the government. Yeah, we got government issues, but to go in and do mass firing without doing at least some kind of audit of the people that's working in these places where they just going in and find. And then you said something about this civilian. Now, I done heard some things from our members, and they talk about this. Say, well, we got Jim Crow, apartheid, and Nazism on steroids in the White House. Now, we ain't got no business having nobody saying that about our president. But Tony, when I looked at a news clip right now of him talking to the president of Ukraine, and what I saw was a mafia type bully rather than a president talking to an ally about an enemy. Now, I was wounded in combat in Vietnam, and I have been watching every war that we fought since World War II. Russia was applying the ammunition. So I take it real personal that he would embrace Russia over our allies when I thought 58,000 of our peers, Tony, were killed in a war backed by Russia. I'm concerned about the democracy today more than ever.
We have a reason to be concerned. The interesting thing about that, I won't say sorry, the interesting thing is he has informed us what he was planning on doing once he became president. You know, the people will tell you what they're going to do, whether you choose to listen and recognize it or not. He said from the get-go, he was going to be he was going to be a dictator that first day. Well, we're still living in his first day because all of his actions are like a dictator.
Yeah.
And so we shouldn't be surprised. Maybe the only thing we could be surprised about that it is going on as long as it is, but he's exercising his power as president to demonstrate what he told us he was going to do, which should be a dictator. And that's what he's done. The other scary part about it is he has a civilian that he has relinquished so much power to that it's almost scary.
I mean, what you talking about, a civilian that got major contracts with the government.
Yes.
And he is. I'm gonna take a short breath on that, Tony, because see, my feelings as a combat veteran is that this is a war against what I served for.
Exactly.
A war against what I was believing when I went into the military, and what 58,000 of my peers was believing when they went into the military. A love for this country so perverse that it would cause them to raise their hand to serve to the point of death.
Yeah.
And he has called us suckers and losers.
Yes.
So I am personally offended. I'm personally offended because what he is setting me and my family that our sacrifices was for naught. He don't care.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. The sad part about that is he's made the same comment about a previous president. The idea that he didn't care for him because he was a loser. No, that's not what our democracy is based on. But unfortunately, he has an interpretation of the democracy that goes against everything that we served for. You know, he doesn't understand that we as civilians, and not civilians, but as citizens, made the decision to serve our country honorably.
Well, see,
and he's not recognizing the fact that we volunteered to serve our country honorably, and one of our previous, several previous presidents also served our country honorably, and he's showing absolutely no respect for that. That's the challenge I have. One of the many challenges that I have with him.
Well, what I'm saying that we got to do as veterans first, and as our community and families, we got to not participate with this.
Yeah.
You know, we just got to shut it down. See, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer that the word tells me sometimes the only thing you can do about something is fast and pray.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling for a 30-day fast on America. And all we're going to do is fast and pray. We ain't going to buy nothing, we ain't going to eat nothing, and we ain't going to do nothing.
You know, an interest.
Shut it down. If they want to break it down, let's shut it down.
Yeah.
We don't have to cooperate with them. We don't have to go along to get along. Because right now, I don't feel I got anything to lose. I just feel like I'm at war and it's to the death. I don't see no way out of this except kissing the ring, and I can't kiss the ring because my lips are sore.
Yeah. why is it's hard for me to understand at this point that our national government appears to be so weak when it comes to recognizing the fact of what this individual, thank you, is doing, wants to do, and is allowed to do.
Well, see, I'm gonna say this. I try to read the scripture a lot because sometimes I can't tolerate what is in front of me without having that extra strength to know that this is something. We're in a spiritual warfare.
Yeah. Yes.
And we have got the Antichrist, the spirit of the Antichrist in our government. I mean, it's been in there for a while. Now, it ain't just happened. It's been there. And like what has happened, we have got this strong Antichrist spirit that showed up in our politics. You know, so we saw it in its first term.
Yes.
And we wouldn't accept it, you know, and a lot of people got caught up in it because they believe that a businessman can run the country better than anybody else. Well, what's running the country now is a businessman, one of the richest people on earth, and he don't have any compassion or empathy with anybody that's lesser than him. You know, and what they are planning to do right now is have the billionaires run our government the way they do it in Russia, the way they do it in China. And that's a dictatorship.
Yes, yes.
And I saw too many young men die to subject myself and my family to a dictatorship without war. I feel that way, that strongly. That to me, it's it's an attack upon everything that I love.
Yeah, everything that we swore to serve, to protect.
And the results of this, Tony, and this being felt throughout the nation right now, that you are taking away medical care for people. And he went so far as to take away funding for veterans committing suicide. He's destroying the Department of Education, which has empowered us to be a part of this nation like never before. He's taken away Social Security, which we paid into.
Yes.
Where I work, you know, Medicaid. That's not something they're giving us. That's something that we earn with our input, with taxes. And he's taking it away. He's making these cuts so that he can give these billionaires a bigger tax break. I'm saying to all veterans and our loved ones, those that care about America, let's stand up against this. And we don't have to be armed. I mean, now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a nonviolent person. You know, I'm a soldier. But we don't have the artillery we need to fight a violent war. But we can do what Dr. King showed us to do. We can stop supporting it. We can stop participating in it. We can fast. We can shut it down. They're going to shut it down anyway because they're taking it over. But they can't take it over unless we give it over.
Yes.
And we should not surrender. We should not surrender. We got to think about those young men, our friends that went into the military and didn't come back because they believed in this country the way it was when they went into the military. So to accept and participate in a dictatorship, a total takeover of our government, to me, is a declaration of war. I don't feel anything except the will to fight to the death of me. And, you know, because if I don't, I'm going to perish anyway.
Yeah.
Because he's taking medical care that affects more veterans. Listen, you got more veterans dying of cancers, Tony, because of being exposed to toxics during military service. And he gonna take away money for that?
It's almost unfortunately, we're realizing he doesn't care.
He don't care.
If it doesn't affect him directly, he doesn't care.
And it doesn't affect him. He don't know what it is to go to the grocery store and the price of eggs shocking.
Yeah.
I went in the store the other day to buy some eggs, and when I got my ticket and found out I done paid $20 for a dozen of eggs, I put it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can't afford it.
Yes.
You know, and that's what is happening up there, what he's doing is resonating down to every level of government.
Mm-hmm.
So we are at war, but it's democracy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's no other way that we can look at it because, like you say, he don't care. He got his millionaire friend up there with sunglasses on in the White House. But I went in the White House with sunglasses on. They want to drug test me.
Yeah.
You know, I think they should drug test him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with a chainsaw. They wouldn't even let me have a chainsaw in the White House. We got a serious assault on our way of life.
Yes, a serious assault on the democracy.
Yeah, a serious assault.
It's to the point to where we would hope that members of his political party, which is giving him all the power to do whatever it is he wants to do without control.
Tony, listen, they didn't give him that. He lied to these folks.
Oh yeah.
And they just wanted to believe him.
Yeah.
Now, all across the country, they seeing that he has lied to them and that what he's doing is having a negative impact on them, their families, their community. So they rising up too. And like one Democratic post predict that the growing unrest that he has created is going to be what toppled him.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, because see, one of the things that he's doing, he's changing all of the major safeguards that we had, like the military.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one safeguard against tyranny, he has stacked it with his cronies. Like they can't be removed.
Right. Yes.
So I'm saying this: let's not participate.
Yeah.
You know, let's shut it down. Let's fast. Let's do something as drastic as he is doing. He has fired people from their jobs, and they don't know what they're gonna do for income for their families right now. Thousands of people, Americans that have did nothing but get up every day and go to work. And he's taking that away from them. And the prices of housing and the prices of living, he's causing to be boosted with his tariffs. He's doing everything he can to steal, kill, and destroy. And to me, that sounds like the character of the devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let it go right there.
No, but we can't let it go. We definitely need to continue to talk about this because there are portions of the community that are choosing not to hear.
Not to hear.
There are portions of the community because they have not directly been affected by some of his decisions. They don't have a problem with it.
They don't have a problem.
But as we continue to live under this and his ability to spread his ideas about the governing, we all are going to be affected by it. Even those of us who may be working or temporarily receiving benefits from the government because he has demonstrated nothing is safe.
Well, I'm telling you, when you said benefits from the, I thought about my livelihood. All of mine come from the government.
Exactly.
I mean, every time I get to pay my bills, I go to the grocery store, come from the government, and he's talking about cutting it.
Yes.
So that means he's killing me.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually rendering me homeless as I look at him.
Yeah. And it's not just you. Look at the numbers of those of us veterans who are receiving our income from being veterans and everything. And all of a sudden, there is we have no guarantee.
Not just veterans, they're trying to think about this now. Are retired federal employees.
Yes. I'll put my hand up for that. Yes.
See, I mean, he's attacking our way of life.
Yes.
And we still watching him on TV.
Yep.
I'm thinking about turning the TV off. I don't need no lights.
You know,
I was in the dark in Vietnam, and I can be in the dark here.
Yeah.
You know, I can fight here as I fought there. I am not going to kneel to this. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to cooperate with it. I'm not going to participate. And I think all of my family, I'm asking all of my neighbors. I mean, either you gonna resist it or you gonna submit to it. It's no other way to look at it. This is one of them times where you're at the fork in the road, and the only way you gonna go is you got to be able to stand up. Because if you don't go, you're gonna be knocked down anyway. They're gonna knock you down. Because they've already made their decision, and they're taking actions to implement that decision, and it's resonating on every level of life. Look at what the media owners are doing. I mean, they're changing the way the reporters can report on this man. The banks, the businesses, the jobs, they're going to step away from diversity, meaning exclusion. They just openly saying it. That D whatever that is he talking about, but it comes down to this right here. 80% of the federal workforce are black women.
Yeah.
80%.
The idea, magic word, black. Look at his administration, previous administration, and his present administration.
Lily White.
Yes.
Lily White.
You know, it's one of those things.
And Nazis.
Yeah.
Ku Klux. And apartheid.
Yes.
Now, but even more, he's selling citizenships. You can buy citizenship for $5 million. Who can afford citizenship? The people that color that's coming here.
Yeah.
They can't afford it. So no. He's trying to turn this into a white nation.
Yes.
People need to wake up because it ain't gonna happen.
No.
You know, I'm just gonna put that. It ain't gonna happen. Listen. I got a 2-year-old that know how to say no. No. She just run around and say no. I come up and no. I said, wait a minute, how you knowing? I got a 2-year-old that know how to say no. We need to learn how to say no and mean it.
Yes.
And mean it.
Not just us, but his party.
Listen.
The party of, I used to say 45, now I got to say 47. They don't know how. I think they were afraid to say no.
Tony, let me say
him.
this now. You say party. I say it's clan, because that is no party anymore. That's a clan.
Yeah.
They have walked away from the Republican Party that used to be of George W. Bush, Air Force pilot that was shot down in World War II. I mean, come on, man. He done walked away from all of this stuff, and we looking at him and getting up and we anytime we go out, we participate.
Yep.
We need to just stay at home. Just stay at home. Don't do nothing. For 30 days, I think we will have some results that we will be pleased with. It will be the collapse of this BS that he's bringing to us. Because, see, the only way it can work is that we participate.
Yep.
If we don't participate, it can't work. See, he's fine, folks, and the rest of them just need to, hey, let's sit down. Stop. You know, just stop for a while. Because, see, the havoc he's causing you the more to go to work than you make.
Yep.
You know, I got my kids work 40 hours a week, Tony. And when they get through paying child care, rent, they ain't got nothing. You know, they buying cheap foods, or they going to these places where they got to get boxes of food from churches. And they working 40 hours a week. They ain't wasting no money. They ain't getting no money. and he finna make it worse,
Yep.
we ain't got to participate. I mean, we can if we want to kiss the ring, go along with the stuff, but he gonna eliminate you anyway. His thing is to eliminate you, to get rid of you. He gonna sell citizenship while he's deporting people, deporting the poor,
Yeah.
and bringing the. Now he got another part. His co-president. Somebody say he ain't president. He's the first lady.
Yeah.
So you got to watch that. You know what they're saying about him. I wouldn't want nobody to talk about me like that. But the thing is, like the civilian you were talking about making the decision, and he just sitting there.
Right.
He's the man up there telling the cabinet what to do.
Right.
And then they done got the audacity to start talking back to the court. We ain't gonna watch. You ain't got no business telling us how to run the government. That is the balance of power that we have in this country. So the democracy is not safe here now. So we got to recognize it and start participating with this people that's trying to make these changes to our government. We don't need to be meeting in no town halls, and we don't need to be meeting nowhere. We don't need to be moving. Because what they going to do? They going to send them in the house to get us? It ain't enough of them. He just got a small clan of Ku Klux, Nazis, and apartheid people. They ain't, listen, they got the media, they got the social media locked down, right? So we done all gravitated towards the social media. You know how black people use it. They got, listen, I want to keep my kids off of it, but they on social media. It's a clown show for them. You know, they ain't using it all. But this man these folks have used the social media to talk to their base and lie to them to the point that they think the government ain't functional enough the way it exists. So they are sitting back applauding his changes.
Yep.
But now I bet you all of them that's applauding got money in the bank. They got enough money in the bank not to worry about the price of eggs. They got enough money in the bank not to worry about the price of gas. You ain't gonna see them crying about the eggs or the gas. They don't even go to the grocery store. They send somebody. I bet you he ain't never been shopping for groceries.
Yeah.
You know, so he don't have the capacity to empathize with us.
Yes.
So what we got to do is stop participating, stop cooperating. Let them keep their food. Let them keep their gas. Let's sit down. Stay in the house. You know, if they want to cut the lights off, we done been there before. I was born in the town I was born, Tony. They were just getting electricity in my grandparents' home. You know, because they lived in a...
Yeah. But we've never experienced that. We are a privileged generation.
Yeah.
We grew up with all kinds of privilege, and the idea of losing those privileges now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Some of us don't even think we can lose them. That's
yes.
the problem. See, all of them. You got some young folks out here that think that job they got gonna always be there. They should look at these folks being fired now, and listen, Joy Reid, which is one of my favorite people on the media, got
right.
Now this is a media that I look at every day.
Yes.
And you hear them, all of them talking about diversity is a curse now. So companies are changing their policies. Stores are changing their policies. Let's sit down. It's time to pass, y'all. It's time for us to pass. You know, we can't do some things. You can't do nothing but fast and pray. And that's what I'm saying that America has come to now. Because, see, they got us positioned where they done took over the government, but just because they done took over the government and able to do these things with the Supreme Court, or the courts been stacked against us. So the only defense we have is to not cooperate. We got to stop participating. We done came through a time where we didn't have food to eat. And you got people right now that don't have food in the house. Right now, and they're working every day. And you got seniors that done worked all their life. They don't have enough food in the house. They don't have enough food. So they looking for the church or these organizations that give food. They waiting to see when is they going to give out the boxes of food. It's time for us to stop participating. Or else, we're going to be really victimized. You know, they're going to force us into crime so they can lock us up because you trying to steal. You got to go out and try to steal something to eat. We don't need to eat. Let's fast. You can fast. Can't nobody stop you from fasting. We got to start participating. That's the only answer I have because I ain't got enough ammunition and I ain't got no backup. So we ain't got that kind of stuff that we had in Vietnam. If I had a little backup, we might go on out there and have a couple, raids. I know how to go. I know how to do a raid. They taught me how to do a raid, but you need some ammunition, and you need some backup. You need to be able to call them airplanes in, them bombs in, and we ain't got none of that. But we can fast and pray, and they can't do nothing about it. They can't stop us.
Yeah, that part they can't stop.
They can't stop. And better me tell you what else would happen. They can't run their businesses either. They can't run no business. They can't do no. What can they do when they can't do all this stuff by themselves? And most of us can't be bullied. That's another issue. See, we're being agitated, aggravated with his rhetoric. He not scan us. He scans some people. But those are the people that don't know no better. Because I think he's a coward. Really. I mean, he's good at military service. And when they had the Black Lives Matter movement up there in D.C., he was hiding in a bunker. He was hiding. He wanted to use the military to defend himself. And so when he got back in power, he came with his demons, other little demons, and he put them in place throughout our government so that they can control the operations of government. That's a dictatorship. That's a seizure of powers. Now they done told where the Congress is part of his stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, so they need to go with him. And if we don't participate, they will go with him. What they gonna do? They gonna come and beat me and make me go out the house? They can't do that. I ain't got no dog, but I'm a dog. I'm gonna act like the dog when they come in my house. They come in my house. I don't care if they cut the lights and the water off. I know how to survive without that. We got to start participating. Because if we don't, we're going to be in a worse predicament than we ever been in.
Yeah.
Because the opportunities to come up in this society is being taken away from us as we talk, Tony.
Yeah.
As we talk, as we do this show. They are plotting to fire people, to put their people in place to run our governments.
Yeah.
And you know what kind of service you're gonna get out of that.
Yeah. Even the idea of doing that, the people that he's attempting to put in position, they have no idea how the government works.
Well, that's what he wants.
Yes.
That's exactly what he wants. So he can tell them what to do. See, that's what dictators are.
Yeah.
And this Congress has already come up under his spirit. Look at what they did when he was being tried. This monkey, this man that we got, that's the Speaker of the House, took some other, dressing up like him, standing down there talking about the court was a forest.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have been locked up. If you did that, they know what they did with you. Interfering with the law.
Mm-hmm.
You're interfering with the law. You try to stand up and do some stuff like that for somebody that's being tried in a court of law, they're going to get you out the way because you are interfering with the prosecution of law. But this is the sitting House Speaker. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Him and a bunch of other little clowns that they got dressed up that look like him and go down and stand across the street from the courthouse and talk about it was a rigged court system. And now they're saying the judges that stand up against him, they need to be impeached. And they're going about trying to impeach these judges. Because they are standing up and say, wait a minute, you violating the Constitution. Which he don't have no respect for anyway.
Yes, yeah.
He know he's violating the Constitution. That's his whole intent. Is to take this country and put it up under the thumbs of Russia.
Yep. He's trying to get rid of our constitutional government.
Yeah.
And by doing that, he will automatically put himself in power.
Yeah.
Which is that is one of the intentions.
Well, that's what he's doing. Yeah. He is in the White House. He has the power of the presidency. And you see what he's doing with it. Mm-hmm. Can't nobody, if you don't see what he's doing with it, you blind. We're blind. And constitutionally, right now, the Congress should be, if you had a righteous Congress, they'll be impeaching him. It would.
But the Congress that is in the majority is a part of his party.
It's part of his party.
And so as a result, they are not going to do anything.
Part of his clan.
Part of his clan. Yeah, part of that, the Republican clan.
Because see what done happened. You still got people in the Republican Party that's standing up against them. They just happen to look like me and you.
Yep.
You know, and their voices don't mean that, but they standing out and they talking about it every day. You know, that, hey, listen, this is not what the Republican Party is about or should be about, because these people are not, like, they got people that's in the Republican Party right now saying that we got a rogue president.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. So what we got to do is connect with those people that got that kind of thinking. We got to connect with them. And I'll get everybody we can to stop participating. Let's have a national fast and prayer. Now think about it. If everybody sit down, what they gonna do?
Yep.
I mean, what can they do? They can't run the buses. They can't run the trains. They can't run the airplanes. They can't do nothing if we stop participating, stop cooperating.
Is this shades of the Montgomery bus boycott?
Yeah. That's the lesson.
Yes.
If we got that lesson.
Yes.
They
they taught us this lesson. We saw it worked.
It worked.
Yet we're choosing not to institute it now.
I think we're ready to do it. So I'm calling them out. Let's do it. Let's start. I think we should set a date. I'll be 78 years old on the 20th of this month. I think that's a good time to start fasting. I'm just gonna start fasting on my birthday. That's the way I'm gonna celebrate.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be asking all my people to fast with me. Just fast with me. Just fast together.
Yeah.
Let's fast and pray. That's all I want you. That's what I want for my birthday. I want to fast and pray. Because right now we need the hand of God on this.
Yeah.
And that's the way to get it. That's what he say. Sometimes you're gonna have them kind of issues. Just fast and pray. When you pray, you're having a direct conversation with your master.
Yeah.
You're asking him for his mercy and his grace on this moment, on this time. See, we got to do that. Unless they're just gonna stop. And I don't think they're ready to repent.
They're not going to stop.
They're not gonna stop. We gotta stop them.
Yeah.
If ain't nobody gonna ride the bus,
the
bus gonna go out of business. Believe me, if you gonna ride the bus, it'll go out of business. If it ain't got no passengers, it ain't gonna roll long. We need to get off the bus. Don't ride the bus no more. Listen, that means that the trucks on the highways that delivering food and all this stuff, stop where you at. Let's fast. Just stop, participate.
Yeah.
You know, stop the clown ways. You know, we got to understand what they doing. If we keep participating, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. It ain't nothing to stop them. Because they had told us they were going to do this. Yeah. Now they doing it. If we don't like it, let's stop participating. Just stop. We ain't got nothing to lose. They're going to take everything anyway. I mean, anytime you go to work and you ain't did nothing and they find you, mass firings all over the government. Mass firings going to come to the state government. Because you got those people that believe like he believed under the golden dome.
Yeah.
They passed laws this time that should have never been passed. And they're all designed to implement what he's talking about. We got to stop participating, people. And this, you know, the Declaration of Independence calls for us to do this. Say anytime you got tyranny in government, the people should rise up and protest. That's the Declaration of Independence. That's the Constitution. That's the instrument. That's the power that we have. See, the way he was talking to this guy, he was talking to a lesser than, and the way they cutting these departments and firing people, they're looking at people as lesser than them.
Yeah.
You got no power. You ain't got no winning hand. We got the upper hand. So you gonna do what we say do or else. Okay, let's deal with the else.
Yeah. Until we realize our power by being a collective. Once we're that collective, all of a sudden it's absolutely nothing they can do to stop it. But the idea is us becoming a collective of one and all focused on. But it's going to be challenging to do that when you have a party that is supporting him that will not ever be a part of the collective.
Well, now let's say something. Again, he got this crew.
Yes.
He got a crew. He don't have a party. He have destroyed the party.
Yep.
He got a crew, and the misinformation and the lies that they told to get the party to elect them, the party now is resisting that. The party. But now, if you look at some of the interviews in these town hall meetings, you got these elected officials standing up trying to defend this man's action and asking the people, just be tolerant, gonna get better. And listen, they done got fired.
Yes.
They done got fired from the government. Yeah. And it ain't just in the government. It's in businesses. It's in schools all across this nation. And if we can't see it and keep participating, they're going to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to succeed. We got to decide within our individual self whether we're going to be able to be that collective. Because see what? If you don't, the impact going to cut you up anyway. It's going to affect you anyway. The price of eggs costs as much on that side of town as it do on this side of town.
Yep.
The cost of gas costs as much on this side of town as it do on that side of town. Cutting Social Security is going to hurt more on that side of town than it is on this side. Because we ain't got it no way.
Yeah.
We just a few of us got it. But a whole bunch of them folk got that. And all of them ain't got no investment account either.
No.
So, raising the price of food and price of living, they don't like it. And you can see it in the media that are covered. See, they got control of the media. You got to remember this now. They got control of the media, so you don't see a lot of the protests. But see, Tony, our network allows us to see them.
Yes.
Because we are talking to people that lives on the other side of town. And they are mad as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them trying to hold out because the congressman tell them, wait a minute, just give him a little time. He's doing what you want him to do. We don't want him to do this.
Yeah.
Because we can't see how raising tariffs against our neighbors gonna benefit us, except for the food and prices in the stores going up.
Well, just not raising the prices, you're laying off our neighbors.
And then who gonna put stuff in the grocery store?
Yes.
See,
Not just who's going to be able to afford to live? Everybody is going to find themselves homeless.
Yeah.
We're looking at a situation where our economy can crash
Any day.
any day now with the policies that they're instituting right now. If you're laying all these people, then guess what? At some point, regardless of how much money they have saved or put away for situations like this, it's going to crash.
And then I'm gonna tell you what, these immigration moves, right, are taking people off the farms. Who gonna get the food off the farm to the store?
That's it.
I guess he thinks I'm gonna go pick cotton again. He's wrong about that. I'm gonna tell him, man, I ain't picking no more cotton. You understand? No, I'm gonna stop that, man. I heard somebody say that we need to be picking cotton. So they get rid of the immigrants. They think we're gonna pick cotton.
Yeah.
Some of us will, because we think that this too shall pass.
No.
We need to stop cooperating. I'm gonna go on a fast on my birthday. I'm gonna start my fast because I want everybody to know I'm not gonna participate. I can't. I don't want to see my babies grow up in a country that don't have no respect for them. That's what we see. And this billionaire, is he a citizen?
No.
I don't think it was he. He ain't been a citizen that long. To be up there cutting and slashing government programs. He don't even know how government works. And don't care.
And he doesn't care.
Don't care.
Yeah.
So what we got to do is build that collective. We got to build that collective. And we're going to go about trying to build that collective because he's going to help us with the stuff that he's doing. People are going to listen more now than they did before because they are in fear. They're in fear of losing their jobs, losing their homes. They're in fear. Because if your house ain't paid for, you ain't got no job, the prices of food and living is high, what you gonna do? You creating a homeless class of people.
Yep.
Out of people that's working, that have went to school and got education and contributed to the growth of this country. He's attacking us solely because we love America. Solely because we believe in America. And we depend on the government that we have had for over 240 years. See, he's removing the opportunities for us to grow. And we see it. And we're responding to it. But we got to respond to it in a way that it have impact. Let's fast. Let's fast and pray. That's all we can do. But the impact of fasting, meaning you ain't spending no money. You ain't doing nothing but fasting and praying. And see how long they last. That greed won't let them last that long. They can't last 30 days because see, they've got the greed that requires that they constantly making money off of our backs. They're constantly making money off of our backs. Because when we go to work, the profit margin of these companies that won't pay a little wages is crazy. They billionaires, and they just keep making more billions off of what you do every day. Every day you go to work, you fatten their pockets. Fast and pray. That's all we got. I mean, there's no reason to be fearful. Just understand what you're dealing with. It's attack upon your life and the life of your family.
and not just the life of the family, the life of the country.
Country.
We're looking at our small picture, but when you look at the numbers that they are impacting the numbers of people that are losing their jobs and everything,
It's crazy.
and to be honest with you, most of us don't have a backup plan, because whatever backup plan, he's taking that away also.
He's sweeping it.
Yes.
He's stealing, killing, and destroying.
Yes.
Every day. And I mean, with record speed. I mean, he's doing this with record speed.
Yes.
You know, you got to understand, the man ain't been in office 50 days yet. Ain't been in office 50 days. He said he was going to become a dictator on day one, and he's doing it.
He's doing it, yes.
And these clowns that he got standing up with him, we can't forget them.
No.
We can't forget them.
No.
So
those people who worked so hard to get him elected, they're a part of it.
Well, they scared now.
Yeah.
Right now, they're questioning their congressman.
Yes.
And the congressman ain't answering the questions that they asking.
Because they have, like us, they have no idea. They see what the effects of his actions are. And then the other part, they have no idea what he's going to do next.
Yeah. And they're supposed to be in his...
Yes, in his inner circle.
In his influence.
Yes.
And he would turn on them just as fast as he turned on the rest of us. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. But it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon, because we're just veterans talking to veterans and the community about all things veterans and the community. Now, we want you to go to the website, look at the website, look at the memorial that we're doing, and know that this is a cause beyond the park. We just started in the park, so we would have a common place to congregate and discuss and view and value the sacrifices that our homeboys have made. You know, and the families that made these young men that sacrifice, the community that they come from with sacrifice. Yeah, buy a brick. You know, buy a brick gonna empower us to do things in the community and to fight this fight for our democracy. You know, so every Saturday we're here. If you got something to say, you can call in. You can come in and be a part of the show, or you can come be on the show. You know, because this is a voice for our community, and this is a call to unity for our community right now. The Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial, Tony.
So every Saturday from 4 to 5 o'clock, we're here every Saturday talking about veterans, the community, and now, based on our political situation, the nation.
The nation. So
we expect to see you here next Saturday in person, if at all possible, but definitely Status Network here Saturday. Veterans Talk. We'll see you next Saturday at 4 o'clock.